Finally got to meet you. And so tell me a little bit about yourself. Who is Casey?
Well, Casey's a California girl, right? I actually am a big. I have my bachelor's degree. Forgive me, gosh, it's early over here in California. I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. I've always been a helper. I did a lot of work in domestic violence shelters and working with kids in special needs classrooms, kids with autism, things like that is really my background. And I have a chocolate lab. And then I was living in San Diego. I was actually going to buy a hair salon.
Really?
I wanted to have a brick and mortar business. I wanted to, run the hair salon. I don't personally have the licenses to do hair, but I love the beauty industry, right? And I wanted to be a business owner. 3 or 4 years ago, I started getting really into the stock market, learning about money, personal finance, and then had some money laying around that I wanted to use towards a business. Didn't know what to do. The hair salon kind of fell in my lap, and then it turned out to be a bad deal, which I'm sure you've come across deals that not so good. Luckily, somebody told me this, and a couple months later, I met a guy who worked in insurance, and long story short, now I own an insurance agency and I'm a business owner, and I've been doing that for almost a couple of years now, and I got a big following on TikTok, 100 and something thousand followers to date, not even 2 years into TikTok, and we're loving life. It's been awesome. Yeah, there's a lot though. You tell me what you feel. Where you want me to elaborate?
No, fantastic. I just started creating content, so I know that's a big thing for you. You hit that milestone, right, a little bit earlier on. But yeah, that's huge motivation for me. I just got into the content space, and I was like, I need to hop on before it's too late.
Yeah. On TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? New app will come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I posted some videos. It was May of 2021. I had heard about Cash Value Life Insurance. I had my license. I was a few months into studying, learning, being out in the field, and the guy I was working with was like, hey, go tell social media. Go tell the internet. I had not really used TikTok before. Mm-hmm. I was sitting on my patio at a house I was renting with roommates, just making content. And then 2 weeks in, something went viral. And I was like, wait, what? And then I had 300 people on my calendar wanting to ask me, what's the night?
Wow.
I was like, holy hell, what am I supposed to do now? I didn't realize this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're getting into real estate, I'm sure that you're also hearing about insurance and leveraging assets and how to create this passive income. And I was in that space too, looking just for, give me the information I wanted. And then when I got it, I was like, people need this. I have to tell people what's going on, what I know. I just wanted to share the information, and I didn't realize it would turn me into an IUL spokeswoman out on the internet.
Yeah, you're just gaining market share at this point, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Instagram's right behind TikTok. Only recently, even though I have 100,000 followers on TikTok, I have not had a single million viewed video.
Wow.
I haven't had any videos hit 1 million. But just recently on Instagram.
Oh, wow. Nice.
First million turned into 3 million.
Yeah.
Okay, you can stop.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're just pushing out volume, I assume, right?
Yeah, pushing out volume. And something that I learned when I first became an entrepreneur is just this quote, right? That you have to delegate to elevate. And meaning that I now have 3 employees. for Caseythedollar, which is my handle on social media. I have a social media manager, a multimedia marketing manager, and just like a customer service admin person. Because I can't do it all. I'm sitting with you on a podcast, right? And I have clients, I have content to make, to edit. I can't.
Yeah.
So you give people opportunity, you give people jobs, you pay people well, and you get them. If people are excited about what you're doing, then they're excited to be a part of the experience and part of the journey.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is really cool. All 2 out of 3 started from nothing. They didn't know insurance.
Yeah.
Like my social media manager knows nothing about insurance. And she's like, let me do it. Like, let me learn. And now she's proficient. Right?
Wow.
She posts about the tax codes after 2 years, and I'm like, did you write this? Like, was that ChatGPT? No, it's me. Like, I know that.
Wow. No, that's inspiring. Yeah. I mean, as far as now insurance goes, tell us a little bit about insurance. What is an IUL? I know you said it a few times right now.
Yeah, IUL. An IUL is a permanent cash value life insurance. So it lasts your entire life. You get a death benefit, of course, right? Death benefit hanging over your head. But the IUL gives you the opportunity to contribute more money to the policy besides what it costs. And then it builds a cash value for you that's liquid, accessible, earns interest, and you can leverage it. Mm-hmm. So you pay monthly, annually, quarterly, whatever you prefer into this policy that is earning interest based off the stock market. However, it has a 0%. So stock market crashes, you don't lose any money. Your money and your cash value is safe. The leverage aspect of it, you build up this cash value, you pull a loan. Well, because you're loaning from an asset, the value of your policy stays the same, and you'll earn interest on the entire value, whether you pulled out all the money or not. So these policies are not just life insurance. They are 100% life insurance policies. It's not an investment, it's a product. But the ways that you can use them and benefit off of them are huge. For people just like you, for especially starting out, and people well into their career that need a place to put money, that they know it's going to be safe and they can have access to it. And I haven't even mentioned anything about the tax code and the tax advantages of the money that comes out of the policy. So there's a lot here.
Let's definitely dive into it. And since you did mention tax, I know a whole bunch of entrepreneurs and even investors, that's like the biggest thing on their mind. And even how you said that you could just leverage your dollar, right? Mm-hmm. So you're maximizing the velocity of your dollar as well, using, a policy like that.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. You want to hear about this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so there are 3 of them. So the first, most basic one, any policy, any life insurance policy, if there's a death benefit is going to transfer to the beneficiary tax-free because of tax code section 101A in the Internal Revenue Code. Any genuine life insurance policy, meaning a term policy, a whole life, universal, that money, when you pass away, is going to a beneficiary tax-free. So tax-free generational wealth. Mm-hmm. Now, when you have a cash value policy and you're earning interest inside the policy, section 72E states that any interest earned inside of a genuine life insurance policy grows tax-free, and the policy becomes a tax shelter. So if you're contributing monthly, and you contribute, let's say, $6,000 a year, and you're going to earn interest on that $6,000, that the earnings are not taxable. You don't have to report them. They're not capital gains, nothing. Mm-hmm. So it's always growing tax-free. So we're sheltering the money from taxes. And then, favorite one, 7702, says if you loan money to yourself using the policy loan provision of a genuine life insurance policy. You take that money out, it's debt-free. It's a loan. And it is tax-free. So you grew your money tax-free. You accessed it tax-free, and then you pass away, and it goes to your loved ones tax-free. 101A, 72E, 7702. And when I'm saying genuine life insurance policy, because I'm saying this on purpose, right? A genuine life insurance policy has guidelines, as in, if I go to my example of $6,000 a year, if your policy says that you cannot contribute more than $6,000 a year, and you do, and I mean you put a penny, $6,000 and a penny into that policy in any given year when you're not supposed to, the entire thing becomes taxable, and it's no longer a genuine life insurance policy.
I see.
So that right there makes it so far away from being an investment. Investments don't limit you or give you these stipulations of what money can go into them. Makes it very much a product. So we follow the guidelines, we get the tax advantages. If your policy was no longer a genuine life insurance policy, it becomes what's called a MIP, or a modified endowment contract. And that just means it's taxable. And if you're under 59 and a half, they'll charge you 10% to access the funds, just like the 401.
Okay.
So the guidelines are really, really important. Huge part of it. And a lot of people have no idea that there are guidelines within a cash value life insurance policy. Which is crazy to me because, I mean, life insurance is older than we are.
Right.
Still don't know how they work. And we can get into why people don't know. But what do you think about all that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's the best of all worlds, right? You're kind of hurting yourself if you're not using one at that point. As soon as you touch some real wealth, I definitely think you should protect yourself, number one, and then maximize the velocity of your money, like I said before. Because I'm also raising private capital, and for people that are lending, that's amazing. If you can grow your money tax-free, lend your money, and then pay yourself that money back, basically, you can just, get some capital gain, have that loan that you took out tax-free, like you said, and it's just a win-win, and you could just keep that cycle going repeatedly, and that money's just growing on the side, right?
Yeah.
While it's growing with me or whoever you lend it out to. So it's just crazy.
It doesn't make sense why are we not all doing this?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, well, and it's a lack of information and a abundance of misinformation.
Yeah.
About how it works.
Anybody that's generating like real wealth and making wealth, they're all using, insurance policies like this. And like you said, it's just the information that's not out there. And that's why it's lovely that you're going out there and, teaching everybody this.
Yes, doing my best. And it's funny you say people with wealth have these.
Yeah.
It's, of course they do. In 2018, there was a statistic that said 80% of CEOs had a life insurance retirement plan. Where either themselves or their company were funding a life insurance policy like an IUL to provide that employee with an income for retirement. 80% of them. Wow. 80% of people have never even heard about an IUL before. But at the same time, I mean, believe me or not, right? For the listeners, to anybody listening to this, but I have millionaire clients and people that reach out to me who are asking me, Casey, I've never heard about this before. Wow. And I have to sit there and go, and you're calling the TikToker. One that you want to talk to. And they're like, I don't know. I don't know who else to go to. And they'll call their wealthy friends or their accountant, their financial advisor. And why I said it's funny is because a lot of times they hear about it, they go try to find it, but the information they're receiving is all about the death benefit, about the protection, not about leveraging the actual cash value. it's very far and few in between of people who really understand how to set up a policy to not screw someone over, and finding someone who's willing to teach you about it, to be able to use it, so that you understand how to use it.
Yeah.
And just somebody who wants to sell it to you as a financial advisor, and put the majority of your money into a tax. Most wealthy financial advisors, CPAs, they want you to put all your money in tax-deferred accounts.
Right.
Right? They have a different way of thinking about things, and life insurance just does not fit in traditional financial planning. And people who are using CPAs and advisors, they have the money to be able to pay these people. So we get to this point, and it's like financial advisors they're not recommending life insurance. 1, because they don't make money off of it. 2, because they never had the training. And 3, they don't know how to set it up. And they don't pay to learn because of number 1, they don't get paid for it.
Right.
So, in a way, it's the wealthy people that know about it, know somebody else, or were told about this quote unquote secret decades.
Yeah.
Or now they found one guy on YouTube that talks about it, and no one believes them.
Right.
A lot of that. I just had my first client who's a donor who is convinced 401ks are trash, and everybody in the hospital is ridiculous for having a 401k. He's a younger guy, right? I mean, and he's going to throw $65,000 a year at an IUL and say, screw your 401k and your tax-deferred plans. I don't want them. And he got it from me.
Wow.
Right? And I'm like, you're a doctor, dude. I'm the TikTok girl. And I don't want to downplay myself at all. I am smart. I care about people. I have people's best interest in mind, and I love numbers. I love math. Like,
yeah.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm honored to be in the position, but it's just, you're smiling and stuff because, it's true, like the TikTok girl. Scrolling TikTok, like, I better call her because
yeah.
And he's asking me, Casey, how can I portray the information about IULs to the other doctors at the hospital and the nurses and my friends in my circle, because they don't want to listen.
Yeah.
And they just want to shut it down and say, nope, never heard about it before, must be.
Yeah.
He's like, what do I tell them? And so I'm like writing him, like, here's this nice like thing you can say to somebody, and here's this document, like share this, but it takes somebody doing it who has a good experience to then say, hey, let me tell my friends and let me tell these people.
Word of mouth.
To get screwed.
Yeah. And honestly, it does sound too good to be true. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Or just like in my case, doing deals like sub 2 and things like that, helping people out of foreclosure and messes, right? When I pitch them these ideas, they think it's way too good to be true. Just like the same exact example, like, that you're facing right now. But yeah, it's just like people do not understand that this information is out there. They just haven't ever really heard of it. And it just really takes one person witnessing and going through it for them to actually go ahead and relay the message to someone else they know, and so on and so forth. But yeah, this content that you're making, it's like wonderful that, it's just being spread out to the world more and more people should honestly do that. So that way, yeah, it's more saturation, yes, but people have a scarcity mindset, thinking like, oh, now there's more people like Casey in the marketplace giving out this info. But no, that's a good thing, because now there's, an abundance of this information out there. More people want to buy, right?
100%. That and, unfortunately, I've talked about my stories that were not so great on TikTok. And I use it as an example to say, like, hey, this is an example of a policy not being set up in your best interest. And I said, if you need your policy reviewed, reach out to me in my company. Well, now It is a large portion of what I do. And just this morning and yesterday, I talked to a woman who got sold almost $2 million in death benefit. She's putting over 12 grand into her policy per year, and she has nothing, and she will have nothing, even if she keeps putting $12,000 into her policy, because it's set up so poorly that it will produce no value for her other than the death. And I can tell her this. I talked to a 28-year-old who got sold $400,000 of death benefit. He wants to put away $200 a month. That policy costs about 20 grand a year. He's not going to get close. He's not going to get anything from it. And then the worst one was yesterday. 50-year-old man put $53,000 into a policy with $1 million death benefit, thinking he had to do one payment, one lump sum, and it was going to sit there, and he was going to have money in the cash value, and he was going to be able to use this money for, a supplemental income, or leverage it, or keep it safe, what have you, anything. And that is absolutely not the case. If he does not put another $53,000 into his policy in June, policy's gone.
Wow.
He got confirmation that if he cancels right now, he gets nothing. Nothing. And
that's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And so I wish that more people were out there talking about what you ask somebody. If you're going to buy a life insurance policy, like, this is what you need to know. This is what you should ask the person working with you. This is how you know if it's good or bad. I know that there are agents out there that are great. I'm friends with them on TikTok because I'm like, hey, I like your work. I keep doing what you're doing, and then there's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah.
A lot of bad ones, and they say catchy things, and people get excited, and there goes 50 grand.
Yeah, just for the sale.
Yeah, just for the sale. And the agent on that case probably made 30 grand.
Yeah.
This man. And this man is going to get nothing. And that agent's going to walk away like, oh, sorry.
How can someone... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. How can someone...
I was going to say, how can someone tell the difference between a good agent and a bad one? Like, what's the big difference on making an agent, trustworthy? Like, why should someone go to Casey instead of anyone else?
Yeah. The things that I tell people is you should have on your policy, whoever you're working with should say, hey, this is the most you can contribute, and this is your minimum. As easy as that. These are the stipulations or the limitations of your policy. If they can't tell you, hey, this is your max and this is your minimum, you should run. Now, if they tell you that, right, and you're paying the minimum, I hope that's clear enough, right? If you're setting up a policy and you want to pay $6 grand a year and the minimum requirement is $6 grand and you could contribute, $20,000, that should tell you right there, they did not set up my policy.
Right.
A good agent, you tell me what you want to contribute at the most. Bottom line, like, this is the most I'm willing to contribute. Your max contribution amount should be that number. If it is any more than that, I would be having red flags go off like crazy. These policies are flexible. If someone has a bad year, a bad month, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur. If you don't make money for a month or two, your policy should be flexible enough that that's okay, because that's life.
Right.
Yeah. Right? So when your policy is not set up correctly, you're not going to have any flexibility. Zero. That is what people need. That is what they want. And so this is my big thing. People will say, I'm shopping around, Casey, and I'm like, okay, have you heard about the guidelines? Has anyone told you about the limitations of the policies or no? No. Like, okay, that's the number one thing we're gonna do, because how am I gonna set like something and not tell you that this is how much you can contribute and this is what happens when shit hits the fan?
Right.
That should be the first thing we're over. That's it. And all the time, it's no one's talking about the guidelines.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing, is that your policy should be flexible. They should be able to tell you how it works. As simple as these two numbers that are on every single policy. Every single one.
Yeah.
And that minimum number that I keep mentioning, right? Because it'll all make sense. The minimum number is what the agent gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
So that agent's not going to tell you what the minimum is because they don't want you to know that, and they want to get a bigger commission, and they'll tell you something like, you have to pay your $6,000.
Hmm.
You don't, not flexible, but you're buying a flexible premium product. And the agent is saying, no, you have to pay $6,000. Okay, something is not right because the product is flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, things and if an agent's not willing to tell you how do you get paid,
Mm-hmm.
then I would run.
Yeah.
A real estate, usually that says, hey, they get 3%. Perfect. Okay, cool. Just tell me
Exactly. Right.
Tell me something. People know nothing about how insurance agents get.
Mm-hmm.
So they have all of these ideas that they're making it.
Yeah, just let it be heard.
Yeah.
Just let it be known. Yeah.
Let it be known. Tell people they want transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's hard. These people that I mentioned this morning, they both told me, all three of them actually, all three said, I got bad vibes. It was a really quick process,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what to ask, so it sounded good.
Right.
And what's really sad though is that these people at the same time are like, because I'm telling them I'm so sorry,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going, it's kind of my fault too, though. I trusted somebody with my money, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just said okay.
Yeah.
It's really sad though, because you should be able to trust people more than
especially if they're professionals in that industry, are able to represent themselves, and even if they work for a different company, I mean, that's just it's tragic, right? And the great thing about this is that you're a business owner and you represent yourself, and that's why you were actually speaking from a business owner standpoint and view of things. And so someone else that's an entrepreneur, I guess you really want to look for someone that's a business owner themselves as an agent, right? And someone that wants the best for you, and someone that's just completely willing to just be complete transparent. Yeah.
100%. These agents out there that are just working in MLMs and schemes.
Yeah.
Northwestern Mutual.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. All pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Don't go here. It's all about the numbers for them and their recruiting. I have my own agency, Power 3 Financial. And we're a small team. It's funny is I have 2 agents. No, I have 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 agents. And one's new. But they all found me on TikTok.
I love it.
From the ground up to do exactly what I do. So we're all on the same page. And then we do everything together. I mean, I meet with these guys. We meet twice a week. We do so much volume, right? That our thing from the beginning, what I've told my teammates is, you guys, I have to be able to sleep.
Yeah.
I won't be able to sleep at night if I don't think that each of you is doing the job that I would do for these people who are reaching out to me,
mm-hmm.
because they want me to be transparent with them. They want me to care. They want the education. If you can't do that, you're gone. You have to go, right?
Right.
It has to be this very tight-knit, well-versed, professional group of people that I could trust, that
mm-hmm.
can take care of people the same way that I was going to. We don't do recruiting. I won't have it. Of course, if there's great person, no one wants to work, of course, but it's hard to find them.
Very hard.
Find them. So absolutely look for people who are doing their own thing,
mm-hmm.
who, yes, it's sales. There's no sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
Insurance is sales, right? But there's a difference between having an experience that feels salesy and
mm-hmm.
an experience that feels educational.
Right.
From the jump, if you were calling me to be like, Casey, I want to get an IUL, I want one right now, I would be going, okay, well, we're going to have a phone call, and we're going to have a Zoom. And we're probably going to have 1 or 2 more Zooms. And I'm probably going to ask you, are you sure? You like it. You're ready. You understand what we're doing. This is a long term for me.
Yeah.
I would want someone asking me, Casey, are you sure? Are you ready? You understand everything. Because it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to have this policy for the next 50 years, you want to feel like that person is, I'm so comfortable, I'm so ready, like committed and excited about it. Because then I'm excited for them because I know the value of what they're going to get. Mm-hmm. So that too, if anyone ever said, let's get your social, let's get an application and make sure you're approved, run away. As fast as you can. You would know these guidelines and how the policy works before we ever touched an application. Mm-hmm. Before we ever touched it.
Yeah.
So I could go on tangent.
No. That's actually very good. Anyone ever even works with me, I like them, completely educated on everything that I'm talking about, what they're even looking to get into, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm representing myself, you're representing yourself, and anything that's coming out of your mouth is representing the industry as well. And if you want to thrive in it, you want a good word out for the industry, not a bad one, right? And I'm sure that that everything works from word of mouth and repeat business, right? So if one person got really scammed by you or something like that and had a bad taste in their mouth, that's just like reverse advertisement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Advertisement is done.
Yeah. So
it only takes one person to ruin you on Yelp or Google, on social media, and it's over. I mean, of course, you could go farther and go to compliance, and if I really messed up your policy and you were upset, and you could prove that I misled you, then my career would be over in the insurance industry.
Yeah.
Which these are not things that scare me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of this, but there are people out there that I'm looking at like, how do you still have a license? How do you have a license? And you know what's sad? It's because the people don't realize what they can even do or that they got screwed. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It is. So I have actually a few friends in the industry that are agents themselves. What would you say to someone that's brand new in the industry, looking to scale and get really better at their craft, right? Also push volume like you. So what would your tip or advice would be for them?
Yeah. As a new insurance agent, of course, get on social media. Of course, just because that's where people are. Strangers will make you successful. Friends will not. Strangers made me successful. To if my friends would ever hear this, none of you have helped me.
That is so true. I could not agree more. Oh boy. I would say like 90% of your growth, if not more, is going to come from strangers.
99%. Absolutely. You might have one really good relative or one really good friend that's like, I'm going to get a policy with you. I trust you what you're doing. The only person in my quote unquote like warm market who like I know personally is my tattooer who did my entire sleeve. Really?
I was gonna ask you. You're pretty tatted. That's actually pretty awesome. I know, like you like try to cover it to make it look professional, right?
I don't cover it. I'm cold.
Oh.
It's raining over here in California.
Oh wow. Okay.
I love my tattoos. I don't cover them too professional.
Okay.
I feel like I should not cover them more so because I think it makes me.
It's you.
I think it makes me more relatable. It makes me a real person.
Yeah.
I think people like it. I think people like it. I think it's.
I like it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. 100%. Like, I was actually I did like a magazine for entrepreneurs last year. Full on, all the tattoos. Like, I was like, oh, should I cover my arms? And everybody around me is like, if you cover your arms, that ruins the whole point. It ruins the whole point. Your arms are, they're the best. I spent a long time on these babies. And I love them. I really think the tattoos and being a female, being a woman, talking about insurance has done a lot of good. I wasn't planning on that, but I don't think it hurts. I think people relate to me more. I mean, I feel like I can be a very person, and I speak about things on social media in a very, I do my best to be as simple say like Barney style, as simple as possible to explain things, because that's how I understand it. But absolutely not. I wish I didn't have I should have not put the sweater on. It's just.
No, I didn't know it was cold or anything. I'm on like the opposite side of the country out here. I'm out of New Jersey, so.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Is it cold over there?
It is today. When I actually went to the gym in the morning, it was like 28 degrees out here. It's so bipolar.
Yeah. See, it's like 5 degrees, and I'm like, it's crazy. I started this off, California girl. But as far as, other than like strength person making you successful, it really is, it's the networking and the word of mouth. Like, do right by people. Every time I ran illustrations, I think about it, and every time I run them, I don't know, I said I ran, but every time I run numbers, I'm running it and thinking, if it were me, what would I want? And I don't, this is not something I force myself to do, though. I don't sit there, okay, let me think about if it was me, though. No, that's just common courtesy.
Right.
You want to do something with your money? You want me to do the best job that I can? Okay, if this was me, what would I want this money to do? Do I see value in this place? Right? And I'm going to keep changing it and fixing it until I see the value. It is not about sales. If you could just forget that you're getting paid, when you're 1099 or commission based, you have to forget that you're getting paid. Because you're not going to see money come in. I spent almost 5 months making $0. And then guess what happened? On month 6, 10 grand. Yeah. And for me, at that point, I was making 30 grand before I got into the insurance industry. I was doing minimum wage jobs. I was struggling. I was 24, 25. I was struggling. And, so to make 10 grand, that felt to me like it repaid me for all 5 months of making nothing. Yeah. Because reality, like, that 10 grand would have been spread out among these months if you were doing what I normally do. So, how I view it is that if you're not getting a paycheck, right, and you need to forget that you're making money and realize that every time you're working, someone is compensating you for your time. You just don't know when. It's coming to you. If you're working your ass off and you don't feel like you're seeing anything, then you're looking too close, or you're too close. You need to look a week down the road, a month down the road, because if you keep working your ass off, all of a sudden money is going to fall into your lap, and somebody, whether it's a client or an investment, whatever you're doing, going to come and it's going to pay you. Yeah. It's going to bring value to your life, and you're going to feel like, wow, all these last 3 months, I was making money. I just couldn't see it. And if you can get in that rhythm of, it's coming, and so I'm just going to work my ass off and do my best, because I know it, I trust the process, you're going to be fine. But if you keep waiting for Friday, you keep waiting, okay, well, like next month, I'm going to get one bigger client and this big paycheck is going to come in. No. I just had a 6-figure deal fall through. If I was holding hope for this 6-figure deal to fall through, and it didn't, I would have been devastated. Oh, yeah. During the time that I was waiting for it to come, yeah. I'm going to get this. And you know what's funny? I didn't lose the business completely. they changed priorities with their money, and now I'll only get a $30,000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're putting several $100,000 away.
Yeah.
They're gonna make $30,000, which is a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that that's, like, I'm still in a place where I'm like, 30,000. So money.
Right.
I can't believe that this is normal to me, right? But that 6-figure deal, they changed their mind. They want to do something else. Who am I to say anything? That money was never mine.
Yeah. That's so true. And you know what the biggest thing is as soon as someone has a deal of any sort in any kind of sales, right? They start to actually decrease the amount of effort that they put in every day. They start to slow down. But it sounds like what you do is actually the complete opposite. You just pretend like that never happened and continue getting more deals. You know what I mean? Because the same in my industry. I mean, if you have a deal, there's so many different things that can go wrong that, if you put all faith in just that one, relax, you could literally just screw yourself. Just like how in your case, right? So just the numbers of just getting more and more and more. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's this idea that I'd rather have hundreds or thousands of deals and possibilities. And even if they're all smaller ones, they're going to ask.
Yeah.
If I did a good job, guess what? They're going to go tell thousands more people. Come to Casey, she does a really good job. Whereas if I do an okay job for a few hundred people that I think are going to pay out a lot, you're going nowhere. They're going nowhere. It's not going to last. A few years down the line, you're either going to feel like shit about yourself, because you screw people and you know it, and you're going to feel guilty. I don't think for a second people screw people over when it comes to money. Don't feel guilty. I think they do deep down.
Definitely. Definitely.
And you're not going to, you're going to get out of the industry. You're not going to care, and you're going to go find something else that you can maybe have more hope about. Not going to work.
Yeah. It honestly sounds like you just love what you're doing. You know what I mean? And that way you just do it so much without really sweating about, I just put in this many, hours, I should get this much out, instead of focusing on that, you're just focusing on the work itself.
Yeah, I have to. And I can't. I wanted to be here, right? And I would be kidding you if I didn't say it was a journey. Because I was doing the typical, okay, so if I work this 4-hour shift, then I can spend this much money and go pick up another shift. I'll have this many hours for this paycheck. I was there. Yeah. I was 100% there. Yes, and now I don't worry about money because it's coming in. But I also am very aware that it could go away in a second. Yeah. And so I'm going to keep going. Going, because guess what? We're young. We don't have time to be like, it'll be fine.
Exactly.
No way. No way. No, it's crazy. I was going to say, I mean, you know what will take money away from you faster than anything?
What's that? Taxes. That's so true.
First year as an entrepreneur, did you get hit with a big tax bill, or have you got to experience that?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. And it's ridiculous because when you're on W-2, you're never worrying about any of that, right? It's already automatically being cut from your every paycheck. But then being an entrepreneur is like a whole different ballpark because you got to set aside this amount for taxes and just be ready for it. But the more that you can save, the better, right? Who wants to pay taxes? So that's definitely a big win. And what's the biggest upside as far as insurance goes with the tax?
What do you mean?
So what would be like the biggest upside as far as insurance goes on, in your opinion, as far as like what a policy can offer?
Oh, okay. The most value. So I'm going to give you an example. So your car breaks down. You have a cash value policy. Let's say you only have 10 grand, okay? But you have 10 grand in cash value life insurance policy, and your car breaks down. it's going to cost you $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
You have the $3,000 to fix it in your savings. No problem. You could just take it from your savings, pay the guy, no big deal. Or you could loan yourself the $3,000 from your asset, right? And one of the loan options that's offered within an IUL is called a participating fixed interest rate or an alternative loan. Mm-hmm. So let's say you take out this $3,000 at a participating fixed interest rate of 5%. You pay for the car to be fixed. You have your car's fixed. It's good again. Now, you did not decrease your savings. Mm-hmm. Right? You still have all the money in your savings and you have a fixed car. The value of your policy did not change. And you're going to earn interest whenever you're credited interest as if that $3,000 did not leave. Okay? But you have the $3,000 to pay the loan back, to pay yourself. So, you're going to start paying yourself back. Maybe you pay it in a couple of chunks. $1,000, $1,000. Well, you're going to pay the interest back too. 5% of $3,000. But that 5% that you were paying, whatever the math is there, 3,000, 5%, mm-hmm. I can't do this off the top of my head, but that money is going to sit in the cash value and earn more interest. So when you pay back the loan, and while the loan is being taken out, it's earning you interest, and then when you pay it back, all of the interest is also added to the value of your policy. Mm-hmm. If you had just paid the savings from their savings, policy would have stayed the same. Of course, you would have still had $10,000, and you would have earned interest. But now you're going to earn interest on more than you would have if you had not used the policy. Mm-hmm. The interest goes back to you, and the interest earns interest.
Right.
So that few $100s could have made another couple $100, adding almost $1,000 to the value of your policy. Mm-hmm. You're going to earn interest on $1,000 more than you would have if you just pulled it from your savings.
Yeah.
And now you just increase the value of your asset. You're going to earn more. You can borrow more. All because you used it.
Right.
Just by using it. And this, to me, is the thing that, if you could get down the idea of an IUL, how it works, what's really going on underneath it, and then see why that is so valuable. I don't need to say anything else. And a lot of people show you this in a projection. Mm-hmm. It takes some figuring out, and you want to get it perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Show some possibilities, but you can literally show a projection of, hey, look here, you pulled a loan, and then you had it out for a bit and you paid it back. Versus if you had not, I will show this to guys just like you. Mm-hmm. Tell me, I'm going to buy real estate, I'm going to flip this property. I have all of these investments going on right now, and even in older people too, everybody. You show them this, and they see it and they go, so you're telling me that if I just use the policy, I can have more money and make more money down the road? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Just take advantage of it, mm-hmm. and you'll actually increase it. And people are going, it's like I thought that it was, I could, people have an idea that it's something that you could do, mm-hmm. actually see it on paper, and then have someone say, yes, would you like to do this and use this product? People are, I just can't believe that this is out there and that I don't know about it.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Incredible.
So that's basically infinite banking for everybody that's hearing what it is but doesn't know what it is, right? But that's like in just one loop, you just wrapped everything up right there, turning yourself into the bank.
Yes, and turn yourself into the bank, dude. Because you cut out. You're always going to need to go and get money, do something. Mm-hmm. Why not be the one that receives the interest?
Yeah.
Why lose that money? Infinite banking does a lot of statistics about the need for protection in America and how much money is actually spent on interest
Mm-hmm.
for the average American. One of Nelson Nash's books, it's kind of old. It's a little bit outdated as far as the numbers are probably worse, unfortunately, right?
Mm-hmm.
He wrote this book, I think it was 2001, his Be Your Own Banker, Become Your Own Banker book by Nelson Nash.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things he talks about is like a 33-year-old male American guy, you know, he's working his ass off, he's doing all the things right. 33% of his money goes to interest.
Wow. Yeah.
The insurance, student loans, it goes on. 33%.
Yeah.
There is not a need for protection in America. There is a need for finance options.
Yeah.
Agents sell life insurance for the death benefit when they should be selling it as a finance option, but people are also scared of this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Agents don't fully understand it themselves, so if you need finance options, just don't be hasty with the decision and make sure you're working with the right person, because the benefits of the policy set up correctly is wild.
Yeah. And it's called life insurance, not death insurance.
Life, exactly. Insurance for your life, not your death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like to tell most of my clients that I work with for creative finance, hey, like in every single transaction, no matter if it's a car, no matter if it's like, you know, a home service, like replacing a boiler system or something like that, or whatever it is, or even buying a house, the most money made in any transaction is from the bank. You know, so why not be your own bank and make money on that, right?
How'd you get so smart?
So, books.
Of course, no, we all did.
I actually saw on your, I believe it was Instagram, because I just got on a TikTok, but I saw you recommended Power of Zero, right? And I used to do door-to-door sales. And I was just talking away, like I love talking, so I was just talking, and my clients, they were actually like absolutely impressed with my entrepreneurial background, and they were like, well, I have this book, I think you really need it, because I'm never gonna read it, but I'm pretty sure you will. So they gave me the book, and that's the book that introduced me to, you know, insurance and all that. So, but yeah, when I saw that on your Instagram, I was like, oh wow, like I've read that book, you know, like that's really good. So
I'm actually in August I'll be meeting.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh my God, that's sweet. How'd you get a hold of him?
I know a guy. I don't know. There's one guy that I've done some on, Michael. He's younger guy, Asian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen him on your Instagram.
Him and I just started a new partnership together, and he has some contracts that are going to allow us to do bank finance and union finance, which we didn't. You know, that's a whole other topic, but where the bank actually pays for the policy for somebody who has a high enough net worth. Mm-hmm. It's insane. But so it's a small company out in Orange County, and they were doing a convention, and they got David McKnight there and Shirley Liu, who is another one of the books, IUL ASAP, that I think I did both of those in my recommendation video. Mm-hmm. Shirley Liu is actually really close with her, or Michael's really close with her.
Wow.
And then Shirley being a big name, David McKnight being a big name. We just got an in, and I got lucky to be friends with Michael. Michael happens to be a big fan of Caseythedollar. And now we've met in real life, and we're good friends now. So, it's an awesome experience. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, there's good people out there. Mm-hmm. Good people out there, and you get the right information. Power of Zero in that book. I keep saying, read this. Mm-hmm. Just opens your mind to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's another way? Like there's not this is the only way. Makes you start thinking that you can be creative with your money.
Yeah.
To just, I guess we'll just give up 30% to taxes. Like, we have to do this. So that's really cool.
That's so true. And honestly, like reading these books for everybody is such a benefit for us. It just makes our lives so much more easier, so we don't have to educate others repeatedly, you know. But that's like the biggest point of content in my preference, you know, in my head, is because we're like cloning ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's just like on 24/7 nonstop, I'm cloning myself to go ahead and educate somebody over and over, just like how David did with his book. So I know he mentions like even others, you know, agents are just passing around his book so others can get educated to even make more sales. Yeah.
Yeah. I sent out a book called The Retirement Miracle to almost every single one of my clients, because I have a PDF copy, and it was the first book that I read about insurance where I was going, holy. It does a really nice job though, talking about the history of insurance, and then it has a whole section on the benefits it offers and then why it's good for business. Mm-hmm. So it's just like a really nice layout of the history, the benefits, and who should use it. And it's a short read. I send it to everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody. And I'm like, do you want a book? Do you want a book? Take this book. And my favorite thing ever, like I feel like it's this crazy, nice compliment when people read the book they gave them.
Yeah.
And you're like, you read it. You actually read it, and you're getting back to me and telling me like, this is so helpful. I'm just like, it's like I wrote it. I don't even care that it's not mine, you know? Like, wow, like I'm just so happy that you listened and you got something from it. And like, you know, like I'm not just spitting out craziness over I swear, you know.
No, yeah, I agree. It's a form of trust. You gave out some advice and they actually took it and took action from it, right? Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if any other viewers want to actually reach out to you or even get into, you know, a policy for themselves, where do they reach out to you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Caseythedollar. Then on both platforms, you can go to the link in my bio, of course, and go to my website, power3financial.com. Reach out to us there. Like I mentioned, we're a small team, so if you don't get me, you're going to be talking to someone who I totally and completely trust. And if you want more info, you can email power3financial@gmail.com, or you can hang tight and wait, because I'm actually putting out my own book soon.
Really?
About IULs, and I'm starting a podcast on April 12th called You're an Asset. I'm your host, Caseythedollar, and on the podcast we're going to find out who's an asset in the financial industry and who's just an ass. So it'll be airing on Twitch and Spotify and YouTube and Facebook, all the things. So there's lots of ways to get in contact with me, and I so appreciate